It's me again. I'm still having a hard time falling asleep here. So I'm taking advantage of the moment to, again, at 3 o'clock in the morning, to continue or further my recollection, which is to me, again, the inspiration that Human Resources has given me to do my own independent investigation on the work environment that they have provided, in my case, for over a decade. Today we're going to talk about three nice girls. Right now I put one of my wife's bracelets just to represent a girly thing. Again, I'll keep finding different objects just to not put my face out there and ruin it. Because again, I think the more important thing here is the message. Now, these three little girls I've mentioned before, but I'm going to mention their names. I'm not going to tell you which one of the three is actually the naughty one. I'm just going to mention these three because all three were there, present when this happened. Now, this is Aida, Limari, and Elga. These three ladies work at U.S. Probation of Puerto Rico. And this happened, many years ago. Me, the IT guy, I went up there. I believe at the time they were on the fourth floor. In the office, all three of them together. When I walked in, I greeted them. And as always, we joked around a bit. One of them asked me, "Hey, we found out that you, the IT guy, has a lover here." And I mentioned, "Really?" And again, the female told me, "Yes, we are aware that you have a lover here in probation." Now, I'm not going to say which of the three said it. But if any of them are ever watching this, which I doubt, you know who you are and you know this actually happened. I said, well, if that is so true, let's do the following. I told the female in question, bring that lover that I have, call her right now, tell her to come here to Elga's office and to tell me to my face that she is the so-called lover that you guys discovered that I have. But then the female said, "No, we're just kidding. We were just trying to draw it out of you to see if you actually had one. But we want to find you a lover." That's what this particular lady from the three told me. Now, again, this is the type of work environment, men have to deal with. Again, where the heck is Me Too when it comes to correcting these women games that they play with men? Again, my intention is not to get any female or guy in trouble from all my videos. That's not my intention at all. My intention is to expose the hypocrisy of U.S. District Court and their supposed moral standards or canons or policy, whatever garbage they pretend to have, because that's what it really is. And they rarely, if ever, I've never seen a female ever held accountable. Maybe they have, I don't know. I do not know at all. But I know enough to realize how toxic that place is. And I might use interchangeably U.S. District Court and, referring to probation. In this case, these three women are from probation. I think they're still there. I'm not sure. When I was terminated a year ago, all three of them were still there. And I like them. They're nice human beings. But again, this is the game that is played constantly by women, but only men get in trouble. But that's not all. I was offered a lover by, again, a female from the three. HR does not care about this. HR does not care about these details. How do I know? Because like I mentioned before, when I told you Arisis Vega, in my opinion, a professional idiot about women showing me porn, she did not care. She just pushed it to the side and said, you can complain later. Later never came. But back to the three girls. Again, in the game that they were playing there with me, one of them, which I'm not going to mention the name, said, well, Jose, I'm very promiscuous. Again, one of the three said that to me. And she even started moving her body in a sexual way, showing me in front of the other two ladies how she likes to do it in bed. Now, once again, I'm going to mention the three ladies. I don't hate you ladies if you're listening. I have nothing against you. I'm just trying to be transparent, because to me, a true investigation should be transparent, clear, and precise. I remember years ago, I've mentioned it before, the courts would say, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that's what I'm doing now. What I'm sharing with you, with anybody out there on YouTube, again, I swear it on the lives of my children that this is factual. I have no need to lie. My concern here is me exposing the toxicity of U.S. District Court and probation work environment when it comes to the hanky-panky nature. And men get blamed all the damn time. And women, well, if they are part of the protected group, because again, I'm not an expert on protected groups or not, or DEI, whatever, I'm speaking based on what I understand to be, protected groups. Which again, these things change. These norms change constantly. They're always evolving. So of course, men are going to be confused as to what this means or that means or whatever. Well, I looked at her and she got offended. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll have to walk now with my eyes closed. Type. I know. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but when it comes, to this last sentence, but not the three girls. Again, the three girls were there. They offered me to find me a lover. They insinuated that I already had a lover to see if I ratted myself out or something. And then one of them started to show me in front of the other two, again, Aida, Limari, and Elga. Those were the three there involved. One of them started to show me, and she even said, I'm very promiscuous. And this is how I like it to be done to me in bed. Isn't that funny, guys? Isn't that funny? Because again, all these videos are in humor, satire. But this investigation is factual on all the videos. And since HR likes to investigate, they inspired me to investigate too, my own independent investigation. I want to do the same, but not just at an individual level, but the entire environment of U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico and probation. The entire environment, which is something they really do ignore on purpose. And I know they do that on purpose. Because like I mentioned before, when federal judge Raul Arias told me, focus on you, it's because he doesn't want to hear the bigger reality. He doesn't want to hear the entire reality. Because he knows of these disgusting hanky-panky games that a lot of the women there play. He knows that. But in order for him to have morality, he has to omit all of that. So that's why he had to tell me, let's focus on you, when I started to describe the entirety of the toxic environment. So you see, justice is blind, you can almost say that. Because on purpose, they need to cover their eyes to the bigger reality in order to have some form of moral stand to actually even say anything and condemn, in this case, me. So again, these three girls, if any of you are listening, which I doubt, again, I have nothing personal against any one of you. But the thing is, as long as we keep hiding the truth of that disgusting place, it will continue primarily to hurt men. And most women don't care, because Women don't have true empathy for men. They don't. They really don't. Because if you women really cared, you would come forward. Actually, if any of you cared, whether men or women, about the truth and about true justice, you would all come forward and say, yeah, Jose was right. Yeah, Jose is not lying. Jose is telling the truth. But you are all a bunch of cowards. That's what you all are. You guys are federal employees, agents, whatever, judges, and you're a bunch of cowards. And you live in fear and in cowardness because you don't want to lose your cozy job and your cozy career. So you have to go along with the ideologies that are garbage. DEI, protected groups, wokeness, feminism, Me Too, all this trash. You have to play along because you don't want to mess up your career. See, the same thing happened in Germany in the 1930s when that bad guy took over. Same thing. He put in place policies that marginalized certain groups of people. And a lot of Germans played along, not because they wanted to, not because they actually hated these minorities, but because they did not want to be shamed or ruin their careers or get their own families in trouble. You see the garbage that we repeat in history? We're repeating it today in the name of something good, supposedly. DEI, it sounds good. Wokeness sounds good. Me Too sounds good. But when you take things to an extreme, no. And when you take things that apply to some people and not others, again, protected groups, no. The Nazis were protected groups in the 30s. The others, dispensable. The others don't matter. Again, that's what I see today. History tends to repeat itself or at least rhyme. And the federal court system is the perfect example based on my experience, on what I've seen and heard, and have also been, made aware by people in very high places at the courts. So once again, for these three ladies, I love all three of you. I think all three of you are great. Don't see this as me trying to get you in trouble. Because once again, don't be cowards. Be brave in accepting truth, facts, and reality. This is, again, like I mentioned before, why sometimes they say here in Puerto Rico, quietly you look prettier. That's a form of indoctrination. That's a form of suppressing truth. Quietly you look prettier. No. You look horrible when something wrong is being done and you stay quiet. Seriously, people. All of you federal employees, bunch of cowards. Useless cowards. You fear the truth. You fear transparency. That's why, again, this guy's being investigated. That girl is being investigated. What the heck is that? Cuba, China, Russia? Come on. Honestly, that's why I reached the level of disgust while I was still working there. Because I hated every time I heard those words. I detested every time I heard those words. And at the same time, I realized what hypocrites. You all are perverts. You all sexualize yourselves. You all have done something wrong. And I can go on and on and on. And I will go on and on and on. Because again, to quote Ada Garcia, I find more of facts and reality. She being one of the most disgusting human beings I've ever met with her lies. Lies that later I will also expose. I've already done it, but I'm trying to create newer, fresher videos with not my face. My face is not the most attractive thing. So, but again, my three little friends, you guys know this happened. And that's the work environment I lived. And that's the work environment a lot of men live. But men have to behave, not women. Only the men have to behave. Okay, somebody make sense out of what I'm saying here. Only the men are supposed to behave, not the girls. Because despite the fact that I made a lot of these things aware, I made this event aware to Evelyn Cruz at the time, and nothing was really done. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Of course, I did not want any of them to be getting trouble. I made that clear. But still, it is still the responsibility of HR to do something about it. It is still the responsibility of the courts to do something about that behavior. Because once again, like I mentioned before, for another federal agency to sit down with Chief Babylonia and tell Chief Babylonia, keep those women away from our men, that is a huge sign of a huge cancer, and nothing has been done. They still dress up like they're going to a nightclub. They still provoke. They still get a lot of guys in trouble. And they're innocent victims. Oh my God, princess. Oh wait, I can't use that word princess. That word princess could actually offend somebody. But if that somebody opens their ass behind courtroom 2 in a playful game, that's okay. You just can't call them princess. But they could open their butt cheeks in a vulgar, disgusting way in their little games like Veronica's little game. But again, I don't hate anybody. This is my therapy. It's 3-something in the morning. I can't sleep. But that's another finding of my investigations of that toxic federal building. But since the primary investigators are women, of course they're going to side with each other. Of course they're going to cover up for their gender. Because the feminist world today, the misogynist world of today, is like that. I personally don't believe women should be given power because they are worse than men when they have power. Because again, I think men also kind of suck with power, but women are worst. That's my experience. My experience. They cover for each other and get rid of the guy that just said something in a private comment. You know, this is amazing. You know, it's something that literally keeps me up at night. Oh boy. But hey, that's what I found in my many investigations that I will continue to emphasize over and over and over again until they get rid of me, because I'm pretty sure eventually they're going to try to do what they recently tried to do to Trump. And to be honest, I don't care. I have no fear of going on to the next level of existence, if just to call it that. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. And I hold Raul Arias Monsuat, I don't know how to mention his second last name, responsible, because he's the leader of that court system and nothing has been done. HR should have made him aware of all this. If they already haven't, it seems that he's aware, because again, if he told me focus on you, he did not want to hear about all the other garbage that he knows exists under his command, under his leadership. What a leadership. What a leadership, leading a vulgar, disgusting place. Good job. Your mother must be proud of you, Judge Arias. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. To penalize comments, but behavior is acceptable in your court system. Wow. Your mom must be proud of you. Well, good night.